Welcome guys to Let's Build a Castle Part 10. I know we've been away from the castle for a very long time, but I've been doing a lot of off-camera work and planning huge templates for the upcoming episodes. In this episode, we're going to build this guard-like section you can see on top of the king's quarters here. The idea being they could come up this tower you can see here, across this small walkway, and access the guard posts on top of the castle itself. As before, these were just put there and there was no way of actually accessing them. So that is the whole basis for this episode. I hope you enjoy it, and let's begin. So what we open with here is the final template that we began with all those episodes ago. When I started this castle, I felt it was incredibly important to make sure I templated everything I was going to build, because that meant that I didn't lose track of where I was going or built things that didn't fit in with the castle itself. So this is kind of the final piece to that original template, almost the cherry on top of the cake really. However, I still felt the castle looked a bit small, and this is the reason this episode has been so far away from the previous one, is because on my end the castle is a lot more bigger than it is here, because I've recorded a lot of episodes. I'm behind on the editing, obviously, that's why it's been so long, but I've actually filmed plenty of content, so I should be getting those out much quicker. Because for what I've done is I've templated out huge areas, mainly because of feedback I've had in the comment section. One thing was that someone mentioned that we built a hall in one of the first episodes, maybe the second or the third, and actually what happened was that despite I was incredibly happy with it, the design of it and things, I've put a big throne in it, somebody mentioned they don't think it was quite big enough, and then looking back I agree, I don't think it's big enough at all for a great hall. So I've kind of made that a throne room, and in later episodes we're going to build a huge great hall. So big episodes like that are what are to come. And as you saw there, quickly we just jumped inside the king's quarters, and actually I furnished it. And I might actually do another episode as well, because what I've also been doing in this time away is I've been going to bits of the castle that I maybe built the tower and didn't put anything inside it. Off camera I've actually been filling spaces such as the king's quarters you saw there. When we built it, it was just an empty shell, and now I've filled it with furniture. But because the furniture was so simple to when we did the office, the king's office, I felt that it would just be a bit, a bit repetitive really. I didn't want to be doing such similar things twice over. So I'm actually going to do another episode someday, and I'll just show off all the little extra bits I put into the castle off camera. So, as you can see in this episode, we're using very similar styles to everything else, and what I felt was important was the castle looks structurally sound throughout, and it's something I've been saying since the very start, and that's means so as we build up, the buildings we put on top of it kind of get smaller and just make it like a towery sense, just to ensure that the castle wouldn't collapse under its own weight if this was to be a real structure. And the idea to this little room is, like as I said in the opening, is I built some little struts where guards could stand and look over the landscape. However, I never actually built an access route to them because it would have been very cumbersome. So I came up with this idea is that the guards climb up a tower, come to the very top of the castle, and then move down to their positions, which I feel works incredibly well once they integrate with those ladders you just saw me building there. And it also works as a bit of a security post really, with the king's quarters being right beneath it. So slowly just building it up using very similar window styles, bigger ones, smaller ones, and overall I feel it looks incredibly detailed and it's working very well. And the idea I want to have here is, as I built up the roof, I also wanted to put a huge tower on the top of it, and you can see the template for the tower just in front of us there. However, later in the episode you see that goes a little bit wrong, so we just build the roof off along this like we did normally, and then I felt that it didn't work very well just with that one roof, so I kind of wanted to build a nice triangular window into it. I just feel this has an extra bit of detail and just looks a little bit nicer really, and overall I much prefer it with that little window there, and I think it works well. And obviously put the copy and paste kind of the windows on all sides just to give that extra sense of symmetry. But now the tower, I did record building the tower, and there it is. But as you can see, as we zoom out here, I don't feel the tower works very well, especially from this angle. I feel it makes it incredibly too tall, and I did even try moving the tower to the right hand side roof a little bit lower down, but I still feel it looks much better without. So I didn't show you the laborious me of building that tower and then just cutting it out right at the end. So I thought I'd leave that till last. And actually that brings us to the end of the episode. As you see, we've got this nice area here for the guards to, commute in and access different areas of the castle along this long strut. And now, as I said earlier, I've done a lot more for this castle, and if you went onto my single player world now, you would see a huge great hall, a huge amount of living quarters, and these episodes are to come very soon, so you should expect those in the next couple of days. Here you can see the template for the great hall itself. I actually even expand upon this and make those towers you could see on it much bigger. So there are many exciting episodes to come, and they are actually much bigger builds than we've done previously. So guys, I hope you look forward to those. I'm sorry it's been so long, but I'm definitely trying to make it up to you now with these next set of episodes. So guys, I will see you next time, and goodbye.